This is the story about the mines and the town of Silver Peak, Nevada. This old town is not very far from Goldfield. However, unlike a lot of old mine towns we read about, this old town just won't die and refuses to become a ghost town. It was way back in 1863 when prospectors for the Great Salt Basin Mining Company were looking for salt deposits that they happened to stumble across some silver about 30 miles west from the town of Goldfield. This silver deposit that was discovered in the rugged mountains set off a rush of miners and prospectors, and it didn't take long before there was a small camp being built. The name Silver Peak was first coined after the Silver Peak Mining District was organized in 1864. Things moved real fast here in this district. By 1865, a 10-stamp mill was brought into the area, and by 1867, a 20-stamp mill was built. By 1865, the first major mining company, the New York and Peak Mining Company, set up operations, marking the beginning of large-scale mining in the area. The town grew rapidly as miners staked claims and businesses cropped up to support the growing population. Within just a few years, the town had several saloons, boarding houses, general stores, and other establishments typical of most western boomtowns. The town's population was also quite diverse. There were miners from all across the United States and even abroad. European immigrants, Chinese laborers, and Mexican miners came to this area to work. Then, in 1866, the Silver Peak and Red Mountain Gold and Silver Mining Company was formed. This company was all cashed up from some big-time mine investors, and they were quick to buy out a lot of the small miners and claim owners. They then set up their own 40-stamp mill. However, they soon found out there were problems with separating the ores efficiently. This caused the mill to be shut down for a portion of time over the following year. Once they got this mill dialed in, they pounded out ore 24 hours a day until 1871 when other milling issues arose. Like a lot of old Nevada mine camps, much-needed water was always in short supply, as was the high cost of transporting ore and other goods. Of course, with all these old towns that sprang up, speculators were eager to get in fast and buy up town lots and mining claims and then try to flip the properties for huge inflated prices. Silver Peak was no different. This is what happened in 1906 when a group of big city investors came to town looking to set up a custom stamp mill. However, these guys were pretty shrewd and refused to pay for land that was way overpriced, so they moved out a few more miles and set up shop and started a small settlement that became known as Blair. Of course, this new town was a huge surprise to people living in Silver Peak to find that a brand new town was being built just a few miles away. These guys then formed the Pittsburgh Silver Peak Gold Mining Company. This company then started construction on building a new 100-stamp mill, and this mill took a lot of the ores that were being mined in the district. During this time, the town of Silver Peak didn't really grow. However, in 1917, the big 100-stamp mill in Blair shut down due to low-grade ores and could no longer turn a profit, so people ended up moving to Silver Peak. However, it was also at this time that there was a slowdown in most of the mining around Silver Peak. For the next decade or so, life was pretty slow around the district. Then, in 1928, mining started back up in a new area known as Mineral Ridge, and a couple of small reduction mills were built, and Silver Peak saw its population jump to 1,200. In 1948, a fire burned a good portion of the town down. This fire, along with mine closures after 1940, once again brought a decrease, and only about 60 people remained in the town by 1950. It's always interesting to read old newspaper articles about the day-to-day happenings in these old towns. Here's a news bit from the Eureka Sentinel, dated March 10, 1900. An Indian near Silver Peak, while thawing out giant powder, picked up a stick of the explosive and squeezed it tightly. He has just one arm now. From the White Pine News Weekly Mining Review, dated December 14, 1913. 3 men shot in saloon fight at Blair. Immediately following an apparently general fight in a saloon near the Mary Mine at Blair at 1:30 Wednesday morning, R.A. Pryor, a shift boss at the Silver Peak mine in that camp while on his way home, was shot twice and seriously, though not fatally, injured by Mike Deli, a miner, who was discharged from the property 2 weeks ago. A Swedish miner known as Big Oli is under arrest at Blair, accused of having struck Pryor over the head with a revolver in the general melee in the saloon. One of the bullets that struck Pryor passed through his left shoulder and the other through his right hand. He is confined at the emergency hospital of the Pittsburgh Silver Peak Gold Mining Company and is being attended by Dr. Roller, the company physician. His wounds are not regarded as serious. You can still go out to the old town of Silver Peak today. Like I said earlier, this is a town that refuses to die and become a ghost town. These days mining still takes place, however it's not so much for silver and gold. Nowadays the mineral they mine is lithium. Silver Peak is now home to one of the largest lithium deposits in the United States, and from the best that I can tell, the town has a population of around 120 people. Well, that's it for this video. I sure hope you enjoyed this short story about the old town of Silver Peak. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you more old, lost mine stories.